Welcome to Fox Valley in Focus. I'm your host, Barb Nadeau. On our show today, we're going to have three guests: Michelle Meyer, the Executive Director of Mutual Ground; Cindy Worsley, the Executive Director of Fox Valley Older Adult Services; and Kyle Wallace of the Sandwich Lions Club, talking about the Franklin Mall Holiday Project. It's going to be a great show. Stay tuned.
Whatever we deny or embrace, for worse or for better.
Underneath everything we are all people. And when we reach out a hand to one, we can influence the condition of all. That's what it means to live united.
Our first guest is Michelle Meyer. She is the Executive Director of Mutual Ground. Michelle, you were telling me that you have been with Mutual Ground for like 15 years?
Yes. I started as an intern at Mutual Ground before I graduated from Eastern Illinois University, and I've been there ever since.
Well, thank you for being here to talk about your organization. And I want to learn more about Mutual Ground, where it's located, its scope, and you have a mission, a very special mission for women.
Yes, we do. And it's not just women, men, and children. We are actually celebrating 40 years of providing education, awareness, and life-changing services for victims of domestic violence and sexual assault in Southern Kane and Kendall County.
How do you do that?
Well, we take a three-pronged approach to ending the cycles of domestic and sexual violence. And with that, we're providing prevention services, intervention services, and then ongoing services to people who need us.
Can you tell us a little bit more about what those three things are? How do you handle prevention?
So we're actually in over 70 area schools providing prevention education programs, from little kids as early on as preschool and kindergarten all the way up to seniors in high school. And with the little kids, we're talking about personal body safety. Nobody touches you under your bikini area. We're practicing screaming no and telling a trusted adult if something happens. In junior high and high school, we're talking about dating violence, sexual assault, sexual harassment. And then we have what's called private room afterwards, where if a child is sitting in the classroom listening to the presentation and feeling like, oh my gosh, this is happening to me, they're able to go talk to one of the prevention educators in private, and then we're able to get them the help that they need. In the intervention services that we provide, we have a 28-bed shelter that we run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have 2 crisis lines, again, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have help that we provide in 3 area courthouses. We respond to 4 area emergency rooms when victims present there. And then we do crisis counseling for when people just walk in or if the police drop them off.
Okay, and that crisis counseling, of course, gets into the ongoing nature of
Correct.
being a supportive agency.
Sure. So the ongoing services are for people that the crisis is over, essentially, and now they want to work on themselves and they want to work on counseling to help them move forward with a healthy, happy life.
Now, you have a central office in Aurora?
Correct.
Okay.
We're on the west side of Aurora, kind of where the old Aurora Police Department was, and we're in a historical district, and we are in a huge mansion. We're very lucky to have the building we're in. It's very homey, very large. We have a lot of space that we are basically use completely up. But our service area is a lot bigger than Aurora, and I like to let people know that because I think because we've been in Aurora for so long, people think we only serve people in Aurora, when in fact we cover the entire county of Kendall and the southern portion of Kane.
So many questions I want to ask you about this. One is, you were mentioning the prevention program. How often do you get into the schools, and how hard is it to get into the schools for somebody who is watching our program today and they would like you to come and meet their students? How does that happen?
Well, we have the coordinator of our prevention program has been with us for many, many years, and she has been kind of just an all-star getting into the schools because our programs have been around for, we actually have one of the longest running prevention education programs in the state. So we've been doing it, I think, for about 30 years. And so we have contracts, like we are in all of District 129, all of District 131, all of the Oswego schools, some of the Batavia schools, some of the Geneva schools. We really stay in our service area, Kendall and Kane, Southern Kane. But if somebody wanted us to come in and speak, we would definitely be willing to have a chat with them.
Okay.
to do that.
And then you talked about the intervention process. What is that like? What is that first 24 hours like? What for someone who's coming to your door?
So the people that come to us in a crisis are the strongest people that I've ever met. They have so much courage. When you're going to leave an abusive relationship, that's the scariest time. That's actually the time when most domestic homicides happen. So they have a lot of courage to make that first phone call on our hotlines or to walk through our doors. And when they come in, we're surrounding them with services. We're wrapping them up with, making sure that they have somebody that's going to help them through the court process, making sure they have a counselor that's going to talk to them a couple times a week. They have an advocate that gets them familiarized with the shelter, brings their kids around and gets them a children's counselor so the children are getting acclimated. So it's a quite a intensive process when somebody comes in, but we just want to make sure they're comfortable, they don't feel judged, and they're getting all the help they need, because obviously when somebody comes in, it's not just a domestic violence or sexual assault situation. They've got a lot of other things going on that they need help with. So we're able to connect with our other non-for-profits in the area to get them other services they may need as well.
Now, what about the current situation we're in right now? We've been waiting and waiting for something to get settled in the state of Illinois with our budget. How does that affect an agency like you?
It's having a huge effect on us because we get $679,000 a year from the state of Illinois. So it essentially makes up about 36% of our budget. We have a $1.9 million budget. And so that actually equals out to about $56,000 a month that we are missing out on. And one payroll is $55,000, and we do that twice a month. So, I mean, we have a large staff of 48 people. So we've had to take actions like we're on a hiring freeze, we're on a spending freeze, we've lowered the employer match on our employees' 403B plans. We're not having people come in and fill in when people take sick days or are off on vacation. So what it's doing is it's starting to affect the quality of service we're able to provide. And that's only going to get worse as things move forward. And probably the hardest thing about this is if I knew what we were going to get cut and when we were going to start getting money, it'd be a lot easier to plan. But because there's just so many questions, we don't know when anything's going to happen, it makes it really hard to plan for the future. So we just keep taking steps. We just instituted a pay cut, and that's probably going to keep happening until we see some movement.
And these services are so important. How can people help you?
People can help us in a couple of ways. So obviously we use volunteers to the largest extent as we can to help us continue to provide services. And if you're somebody who wants to volunteer for us, you can go through a 60-hour training, very intensive domestic violence and sexual assault training in order to work directly with clients that we serve. And you can get on our help us by getting on our hotlines and doing that work. You can meet people in the emergency rooms when they need to be met there. You can help us with childcare, just working with the children. And then if you're not interested in working directly with the clients we serve, we also have projects you can help us with in the administrative department. We have fundraising initiatives you can help us with. And on that front, we're always looking for people to partner with us and provide help and support through financial donations. That's really what keeps us going despite what's happening in the state. We've had a lot of very generous people in our community that have been helping us out, churches, civic clubs, individuals. But also people are really coming together and helping us with toiletries and cleaning products. We're essentially running a large household, so we need all of those things. If we have to buy those things, then that's less money that's going to the programs. So we have lists of things that we need on our website that people can go to and help us that way too.
Oh, that's really interesting. There's so many different things that we can be doing to help you at this time. And this is something that, again, is day in and day out.
Yes,
365 days a year.
Right.
I just can't. I can't imagine what that's like to have a cell phone and be ready.
Yeah.
It's an amazing thing you're doing for all of us. You've mentioned your website. You've mentioned your hotline. Can you share that with us before our time is up?
Sure. Our website is mutualground.org, very easy to find, or you can Google Mutual Ground and we'll come up. Our hotlines are 630-897-0080 or 630-897-8383, and those are 24/7, and we will not judge. They're not monitored. please call us if you need help.
All right, save those numbers, share them with a friend. Michelle Meyer, the Executive Director of Mutual Ground, and again, that's mutualground.org. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Barb.
We'll be right back.
Mom! Mom!
What?
You can't find Ichabod.
What?
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to put up with you.
Cindy Worsley joins us now. She's the Executive Director of Fox Valley Older Adult Services located in Sandwich, Illinois. And Cindy, it's great to have you here on Fox Valley in Focus. I have to ask you, though.
Sure.
There have been so many rumors about your closings. So
Right.
can you tell us what's the status of Fox Valley Older Adult Services?
We're not giving up. I guess that's the best thing
Wonderful.
I could say.
Wonderful news.
And I would like all of our people, our supporters and our clients who come through the programs and other agencies that we work with to know that we really have fought hard and are continuing to do that to remain open. Of course, every agency that receives funding from the state at this point in our particular segment really is in jeopardy because of the way the state is handling this. And it is a dangerous situation. You know, we look at the holidays coming along, and I read an article the other day where they said they would not be able to talk, the leaders in Springfield, because December was a big holiday month. I thought,
Really? The rest of us go to work every day?
yes, exactly. And our clients and our participants in all of these programs, they need help through the holidays as well. They don't get to take time off from their problems and from their shortages, such as food, and somebody to help care for them throughout the day. So I was pretty irritated by that comment, as you can tell. But we're stepping in to help where we can. And thanks to many organizations in the Sandwich area, service organizations such as the Rotary and the Lions Club, and churches, and the City of Sandwich, and DeKalb County and Kendall County. Our bank, Heartland Bank, all have stepped forward and helped us through this.
Well, let me ask you about that because Fox Valley Older Adult Services, you're located at the Fox Valley Community Center in Sandwich.
That's correct.
But your service area
is large.
is large. It
We-
goes beyond Sandwich and certainly
yes.
beyond the county
Yes,
boundaries.
we provide in-home services and adult daycare for people who live in Kendall and DeKalb, LaSalle, and Bureau counties. We have been trying to expand, but with the state shortfall, we're not doing that right now. But we have been in those counties for many years. We've offered daycare and in-home services since 2000. We have many aides. Our in-home service department is very well hidden. We have 227 clients in that program, and we have 110 aides who go into the homes and help them. That program is dependent entirely on state funding because we are not licensed to provide private care. We cannot let the people pay. They have to go through the state service. And
So saying that means that you are dealing with the people who need it the most.
absolutely, yes.
This
we
is
are.
not exclusive service
No.
that you are offering. This is very personal service given to people really in need.
That's right. And they not only are they in need, but our service prevents them from going to nursing homes as early as they might otherwise do. And so it helps them. We all want to stay in our own home. Who wants to go and live in a nursing home? But we want to stay in our home where we enjoy our possessions and our families and keep ourselves healthy. And all of those things are important. But then we have 110 aides who rely on us for their income. And when the state doesn't pay us, then we have to figure out some other way to pay them. And I heard Michelle say a minute ago from Mutual Ground that their payroll every 2 weeks was $57,000. It's exactly what ours is. And so we depend largely on the state to do that because the state has assigned those clients to us. So basically, they have been abandoning them when they refuse to pay.
And it's interesting because you said they want to stay in their home, but
Yes.
in fact, going to a nursing home is really not a good option. That's
No.
much more expensive,
Oh,
isn't
much
it?
more expensive, yeah. So the average cost of our program for a client, depending on the hours of service, will run somewhere between $5,000 and $15,000 a year. A nursing home with Medicaid payment is around $35,000 a year. So why would you shortfall one program so they can use a more expensive one?
It's going to be interesting to see how this all works
It
out.
certainly is.
As you said, you're not quitters.
No, we are not.
And
We are
that's
not.
fantastic. Tell us a
Yes.
little bit more about some of the services, other services that are
Sure.
offered through Fox Valley Older Adults.
Sure. Those two services cover multi-counties, and because Sandwich is in this unique geographic area where we have 3 county lines within our city limits, we do serve multi-counties that way as well. And our senior center is open 5 days a week from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and it's such a joy to see seniors who are living independently come to the center and enjoy. We have a Wii group that comes in 2 days a week. They come in and play bridge and Mexican train dominoes and hand and foot. The list goes on and on. We have a group of men who come Tuesday mornings and carve, and women are welcome to it. I always need to add that. And then we have a group of people who come and paint on Thursday afternoon. We have some ladies who like to do crafts, and what I found is I love crafts. I love to look at them. I don't want that anymore in my home. I have way too much stuff now, and that's what seniors will tell you as well. So they come in and make crafts, and then we sell them at the Sandwich Fair every year.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And we get a lot of donated goods to make those crafts out of.
Then
so.
that goes to the greater good of
Yes,
Fox
it
Valley
does.
Older Adults?
The funds earned at the Sandwich Fair and anything else we do support all of these things that I talk about. Our activity director, Becky Lucan, just has a great time, and she puts together so many different kinds of programs, exercise, line dancing, in addition to the cards. And then we partner with the Voluntary Action Center and provide them with space to have noon meals with us. Wonderful meals. And if you haven't met Sally Craig, you have really missed a lot in your life. She's the cook, and she keeps everybody hopping. And then we also partner with them to provide transportation to people in the southern part of DeKalb County. And that transportation is available 5 days a week for going to the doctor and getting your groceries and all those different things that people still like to do. But we know there's times when people need to give up driving, and so the bus steps in then and helps.
Well, it's interesting because you're working with older adults. If they
Yes.
give up their license, that's right at the time when they need it the
Yes,
most. And
yes, it
so
is.
the fact that you're there and that you can help them, that's fantastic.
That's right. And I know I will be the same. Giving up your driver's license is probably the most difficult step in signing your independence over to somebody else. So when you do that and you're wise enough to see that maybe it's not safe for you to drive, then you can call our bus, and that still helps you maintain your independence because you're not depending on one of your children to come and pick you up or a neighbor to take you to the grocery store. Our bus is there 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Now, we talked a little bit about the challenge of working with the state of Illinois and the
Yes,
budget
yes.
constraints that you're under. But you told me before the show that you've started a fund drive. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yes, we will be really launching our fund drive right after Thanksgiving. We always do a mail fund drive, and we'll be sending that mailing out at the same time. But this year, we are starting our very first year. We know there will be some hiccups, but we're starting our very first year with Giving Tuesday, which is an excellent donor program started about 5 years ago along with Black Friday.
And we don't want people to think Giving Tuesday is December 1st.
That is right.
But you keep giving.
Yes.
Just make it every Tuesday, Giving
That's
Tuesday.
right,
That's what
right.
we want to say.
Giving every Tuesday then, exactly.
Wonderful.
We
Now-
survive on the donations of others. So.
We want to know about your website. I'm sure we can find out information about it
can.
there.
Yes, fvoas.org. Use our initials.
And on the telephone, if we want to reach you.
815-786-9404.
Okay, Cindy Worsley is our guest from Fox Valley Older Adult Services. She's the executive director. I could talk to you all day.
Oh, thank
but
you,
I have
Barb.
to let you go. We have another guest waiting. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Everyone has friends. There's online friends, friends to go out with on a Saturday night, friends to hang out with and do nothing, friends who show up on moving day. And then there are the friends who'll be there if someone is dealing with a mental illness. Are you one of those friends?
Kyle Wallace of the Sandwich Lions Club joins us now to tell us about one of the sweetest holiday stories I think I've ever heard. And Kyle, thank you so much for being here on Fox Valley in Focus. You're here to talk about the Franklin Mall.
Yes.
And every time I try to tell people about Franklin Mall, they ask me where it is. Can you explain this?
I'm not sure where it is. It's in the city, around the city of Sandwich vicinity.
But it's not a mall.
No, it's not a mall. It's a project that the Sandwich Lions Club has taken on for, I don't know, since the early 60s or late 60s, I'm sorry, where we collect food in 21 different locations in Sandwich in boxes and take it to the Sandwich Firehouse and collect that, and we deliver it prior to Christmas to help out people in need. That we get names from people, or we get phone calls and people who are in need, and we take a box of food to them with they also have a little store slip that from the local grocery store for whatever they want, for 35 or 45, depends on how much money we have in the coffers at that point.
So you can help them with food in the box.
Yes.
But you also are giving them the gift to go shopping.
Yes.
To buy what they
we
really
generally
want.
get it from Arts Supermarket there, where they can go and get. We used to take like potatoes or something like that, but we'll just give them the food certificate for, then they can get what they want. So that works out much better for them.
I think that's really sweet, because it's not just the food in the box, but
Right.
it's not what you think they want to
Right.
have for the holidays, but they can actually go and get what they want to eat for the holidays.
Correct. Yep.
So it's named Franklin Mall,
Yes.
and I understand Franklin
Yeah.
Mall is actually a person. He was your grandfather.
Yes, Franklin Mall is my grandfather who started this, well, many years ago. He would go throughout the year with a grocery cart. If he would go, he would see somebody need help, he would get a grocery cart at Arts and go through, fill it up, and push the grocery cart to the house, not just at Christmas. Well, later on down the line, my grandma would make Santa suit, and he would do it at Christmas too. And it got to the point where it was just too much for him, and he approached my dad, which is Ron Wallace, and they were both members of the Sandwich Lions Club, and they approached the club to help out with this project. And it started out small, but it has grown to quite large. And there's actually two phases to it. There's the grocery part, or the food part, and at Christmas Eve we have 5 Santas that go across Sandwich area, delivering what's called cheer baskets with candies and cookies, and just to cheer somebody up. The people, everybody in the whoever is in nursing homes or senior centers, or even in the town itself, if they're alone on Christmas Eve, it just helps them out. It's just that part of season where it just gives them something to look forward to, and puts a smile on their face, and that's what that's all about. So there's 2 phases to the Franklin Mall project. The food part and the cheer basket part, and I am chairman of the cheer basket part. I get the Santa suits together and the
You
Santas
get to be
together.
a Santa?
I get to be a Santa. Yes.
That's got to be a wonderful feeling.
It
I
is,
can't
it is.
imagine what that's
It
like
is.
to be Santa.
It is. It puts it puts in perspective some things too, when you deliver these to people who don't have as much as you do, or who you feel grateful for what you have, and it's something I've done since I've started there, pretty much. I started being a Santa at age 25. I'm a little older now, and I've seen quite a bit. But
You grew up with this project. You
Yes.
probably were helping with the boxing
yes,
up
they were
years
yeah.
ago.
They were at my dad's house doing it most of the time. There's a big room there, and we'd shuffle all the at that time was potatoes and stuff. And yeah, I'd see Santas for many years. I've been helped out that way. And when I got into the club, I was obviously earmarked for the Santa suit right away, so that's fine. I love it.
Well, now it's grown to many, many,
Yes.
many volunteers.
Yes,
And many,
yes.
many days. You just had a wonderful holiday concert.
Yes, we did. Yes.
That's at the Opera House every year.
Yes.
And then you have a series of dates, and I want you to share that
Okay.
so that if people want to get involved, because I know that
Yes.
it reaches beyond the confines of Sandwich, Illinois, and you have people coming to help from all over too. So tell
We
us
have
about those
yes,
dates.
we have an amazing amount of volunteers that help us pack the groceries in the boxes. And the packing date's December 17th at 6 p.m. at the fire station in Sandwich, Illinois. And then we deliver on December 19th the boxes themselves. And we get a bunch of trucks together with people and deliver it that morning, Saturday morning. And then the cheer baskets we're going to pack on December 23rd and deliver them on Christmas Eve, December 24th. We pack them at the Methodist Church in Sandwich and that evening it's going to be 6 o'clock at 23rd, and we pack cookies and candies in a little container. That's all they need. They just need a little bit of something. They don't need a lot, so it's a wonderful thing for the
A lot of
elderly.
people are doing holiday projects, but I have never heard of one that actually goes throughout the entire month and actually delivers on Christmas Eve. And I just think that's the sweetest thing. I'm sure that that is making just a huge impact on the lives of those people that you come and visit.
Yes, and you know, if you're in a nursing home, it's one thing to be in a nursing home. Then being in a nursing home on Christmas Eve it can't be. It's just, this is something to hopefully cheer some people up, and I think it does. And we've had some Santas that do this for many years, and they just enjoy it. They wouldn't do it any other way. It's something that the community has embraced for many years too, and we've been getting. The community has supported us along the years. It really helps out what the community through volunteers and money. They give us some money for it too.
Well, what a wonderful thing you're teaching the youth of Sandwich. I mean, you grew up with this.
Yeah.
You were helping
Yes.
as a youth, and you, as you said, you were earmarked as
Yeah.
a Santa early on. They knew that you were going to be part of this project for life. I'm sure it's made an indelible mark on who you are. But you're
Yes.
doing this with so many other people, and it's
Yes.
wonderful to hear the story.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Once again, you are collecting now,
Yes.
and they can collect non-perishable groceries, and that's throughout the city of Sandwich?
There are 21 sites. All the banks should have one. Some stores, arts, obviously. The libraries, those kind of places. Even some doctor's offices and stuff have them. The red containers on the inside, and you'll say right
Okay.
inside.
And if they want to give a monetary donation?
You can give a monetary donation to the Sandwich Lions Club, and we'll put it right, and you put on there towards the Franklin Mall project, and we'll be very thankful for that.
Well, Kyle, thank you so much for being here on our show. It's been great to have you, and I just wish you the best holiday season. And to all of you, thank you for being with us on Fox Valley Television. I'm Barb Nadeau. We'll see you next time.